Damn. I think it's this red ass car right here. I think that's what it is. Otherwise, I look like a fucking alcoholic right now with my red ass face. Could be Pounding Monsters. I don't really know. Don't know what it is. So, just fresh off the line with old Spoonie, sitting there scrolling Facebook, I see there's a family in Frisco right now, hammered with the coronavirus. Frisco, Texas, Collin County. Been a while since I might have sent some marketing to Frisco. Hell, I don't know. Frisco ain't my jam. It ain't my place. What's up, Joanna? Bam, wave. What's up, Henry? Bam, wave. Got a phone call. Had to hit the ignore button. So I'm sitting here right now, and obviously, being the father of a 6-year-old, you sit down around and do the research, and you're like, well, what's up, Richard? What's up, Perry? Oh, Perry. What's up, Ty? Hitting the wave button. Anyways, as a father of a 6-year-old, you want to, is the coronavirus going to kill my 6-year-old? Yeah, what are the repercussions of this? What's, financial markets melting down because apparently a oil war just took off. Look at this fat fuck. Look at this motherfucker. He's going in there after a Butterfinger, I guarantee you. So, anyways, you got all these questions. It's uncertainty. It's like, oh man, what is it? So, I get in. First thing I do, what's up, Garrett? What's up, Justin? First thing I do, right here at the first of the month, rent's late on the 5th, or due on the 1st, late on the 5th, maybe late on the 6th. Maybe it's not late on the 5th. I don't know when rent's late. But our board currently right now has all our evictions on there, and we file them. I mean, as soon as they don't pay, they're filed. And so I'm looking at our eviction board, and I'm like, well, coronavirus didn't really hit as hard as Christmas did. We had 10 times the evictions during Christmas as we do now. So that's a good. So we got at least a 30-day lag before it affects us personally from a collecting rent point of view. All right, that's good news. What's next? So we do our morning meeting, our weekly meeting this morning, and we're looking at our leads that come in for people that are wanting to move into vacancies. And we've leased a lot in the last month. I mean, we leased a whole bunch of units, so there's not as much inventory. We don't have as much inventory available, which means there's not enough inventory to generate leads. So maybe that's something to do with it. But last month alone, through our call system, we had 300 leads come in, okay? In the first week of this month, we only had 29. So 300 divided by 4 is whatever, and we only had 29, so we're lagging way behind on that. And it's like, we're talking about maybe it's not enough bandit signs, maybe it's not enough Facebook posts, maybe it's not enough Facebook ads, and then somebody's like, well, could it be the global pandemic? Could it be coronavirus? Well, we're not getting them. What's up, Josh? What's up, Sergio? What's up, Alexi? I don't know how to say your name, bro. Anyway, so I was like, all right, that's something to consider. But I really don't know. But I'm on the phone with Spoon right before I get on here, and we're talking about something. And yesterday, as soon as the stock market started crashing, I had all of this stuff that I was going to do yesterday, and I just shelved it all. I said, fuck that. I'm reaching out to my friends and family immediately and saying, hey, do you want to get your money out of the stock market? Do you want to put it to work on real estate and weather this storm, 8% interest only, right now? So I reached out to several people. We're getting emails together with prospectuses, and we're going to go after cheaper private money right now during this time, because not only will it help our friends and family that are losing a good portion of their retirement right now during this crash, it'll put it into stable assets, but it'll help us out, because now if we're going to a bank or whatever, bank and lending in and of itself I don't know what it's like in this environment. Anybody that's trying to tell you what it's like has never gone through this environment, so they don't know. You know what I mean? They have no idea what the projection is, how long it's going to last, what the ripple effects will be throughout the communities. Nobody knows. Nobody can predict it. Nobody can accurately predict it. Everybody can speculate about it. Fear breeds more fear, whatever. But how can I help my people right now? Well, I can get your money out of harm's way and get it into a hard asset. And you can help me bridge tough times by not having to go to a bank for a refi. So if I don't have to go to a bank for a refi, you're scratching my back, I'm scratching your back, and we'll weather this storm together. So I made those calls yesterday, located over, I think, $850,000 in capital that we could deploy that will lower our debt service right now immediately, and will help us out. Then the next thing we did was stress test our assets in Pecos. So we've got assets in Pecos. Oil is crashing. So we want to stress test that asset and say, okay, it's on bank loan. It's a 5-year revisit. What does it say right now about what they can do? Can they come in and say, oh, we want to see your trailing 12 and we want to see what your DSCR is? How long before they could possibly call that note or ask us to bring money to the table to keep them from calling that note? So we stress test that asset right then, because it's the first one of ours that's in harm's way. Like, it would be the first one to feel the ripple effect of $20 oil or whatever it is right now. So we're stress testing that asset. We are looking at what it's going to look like as just a ordinary rental property, not a oil field rental property. We did this whenever we bought it. We always anticipated that this could happen. We know what it is, and whenever we stress tested it, we're like, oh man, if we've got to rent these out for $800 a month per unit, we are still fine. In the terms of our agreement, we still meet every criteria, and they won't be able to call our note due. Great, wonderful, one less thing to worry about. So that's something that we did immediately. I think we started that process, or got the information and started looking at it and evaluating it on Sunday. And I might do in the mastermind group, I need to do a breakdown of that. The only problem is we just hired 2 people in our office. Our office is really noisy, so I'm going to have to start coming in before work and staying after work, because y'all won't be able to hear anything on these lives, because there's just a bunch of women in there fucking chitter chattering about basically nothing. But either way, that's something that we did immediately. Next thing, right now, we're still buying houses. We're still looking at buying houses. We are still trying to wholesale houses. Now it feels like we got this big headwind in front of us, though, because you're buying something and expecting it to be able to resell it. It's the springtime. It's when people would be buying, okay? But there's a global pandemic or whatever. There's this big, nobody's got any toilet paper. Nobody got any water. You can't find Lysol. All this negative energy in the atmosphere. So it's basically kind of like, all right, I'm going to buy this asset, and I expect to resell it and make money, fix it, flip it, whatever. But hold up, might not happen. So we're setting the expectations with our private money people. Hey, look, we're going to go buy this right now. Here's our exit strategy. But instead of it being a 2 or 3 month turnaround, I don't know who just called me. You're fucking always calling me. But instead of having a 2 or 3 month turnaround, what if it takes 2 years? You okay with that, Mr. Private Money Person? Oh, you're okay? Cool. We need 2-year terms. Because we don't want to be in a situation where we set improper expectations on a property that we buy intending to resell it, and then we have to rent it and hold it as an asset for a long period of time in an environment where it may be hard to refinance properties. Anybody who's telling you anything about that, about their refis, about whatever's going on, they don't have a fucking clue. The underwriting process for the loans is the same right now today, okay? But getting that money and getting it all the way across the finish line, you might see additional trip hazards along the way. Rates are going down, Okay. Rates are going down. No doubt about that. Rates are going down. I've seen somebody locked in like a 3.6% interest loan. I hope they get that loan across the finish line. It should be good from all outside perspective. You should be able to look at this and go, oh, okay, less money in the stock market, more money in bonds, more money in banks. They should be loaning this money out. It should be a good environment for real estate investors wanting to borrow money. Maybe. I don't know. And anybody who's telling you they know, I would love to see their previous experience with global pandemic, supply chain interruption, nonsense, fucking no toilet paper having bullshit. I would love to see it, okay? I don't know what it looks like. I do not know what it looks like. All of us are about to get to test our theories about, oh, well, there's going to be a great buying opportunity. Maybe. I know now when I'm negotiating across the table from a seller, I'm going to lay my chips on the table. I'm going to be like, hey, look, I'm buying this sumbitch, but it's really hard for me to be looking at it. And if you go out and try to sell it right now, there's going to be some layoffs. Oil's $30 a barrel. I'm using the negative energy to negotiate that price down. No doubt about it. But when I'm underwriting that deal, I've always underwrote my deals like this, that they've got to work as a rental. They got to work owner finance, but owner finance might not be there as strong as what people think. You know what I mean? People want to hoard that down payment. It might be a great time to be a landlord. You might see a lot more people staying put that were thinking about moving. Like, oh man, I'm really not happy. I want to upgrade. I want to buy. Maybe not. Maybe not right now. Maybe I just want to stay. Maybe I want to ride this out. So maybe it's a great time to be a landlord. Maybe it's the worst time on planet Earth to be a landlord. We will all find out together. We all get to test our theories together. But the one thing I can do in my business today is, one, if I know somebody that's got some capital in the stock market, I can try to get them to loan it to me and get it out of harm's way. Two, if I'm setting that expectation with private money lenders, I need to extend that expectation. Hey, this might not be a short turnaround. This might not be like all the other loans. You know what I mean? We just did two loans recently, and I reached out to both those lenders and said, this is where we're at. We're still going to remodel those houses. It's the only thing we can do. We're going to remodel them and we're going to list them, but these might end up being in our rental portfolio, and we might have to hold on to that money a little bit longer. We will continue to try to refi. We will continue to try to work our business plan. But if things tighten up, if things get a little harder, if uncertainty really creeps in, then there's going to have to be a conversation we're going to have, not only about the interest rate that we're paying to where we can run it sustainably, but we're going to have a conversation about how it works out. Now, the other thing is, we're 10 days away from having $900,000. That was a loan that we're doing from a private money individual, $900,000. And, I've been asking the same question over and over again, because it's like a domino that falls. When that $900,000 goes, then it frees up $400,000 that's going on to another asset, and so on and so forth. And it's going to really start moving. Everything we're doing in the apartment mastermind basically starts when that $900,000 hits our bank account. We're going to put people to work and start remodeling apartments and doing our thing. I'm not worried about the $900,000, but I don't know where the $900,000 was parked during these times. You know what I mean? I hope, before he got it out of the bond market, I hope his exposure to what's happened over the last few weeks was low. I really hope that he loves doing that loan so much, because it gets him, not only a 12% return, which is fabulous, but helps him weather a storm. I hope he brings more money into our ecosystem. And we would negotiate different terms on that money to help weather a storm, because if they really believe it is as bad as what people on the internet and everything else believe, long-term private capital loans, interest-only loans, are a win-win for both the investor and the person with the money, because once. The only problem is, I think there's a lot of people that are in the stock market, at least a lot of my younger friends, that look at this as a once-in-a-lifetime buying opportunity. And if you've got it loaned in real estate, you're not liquid at all. And so if they want to buy the dip, then they won't be able to if they park it into real estate. So your target clientele, or the person you're looking for, is going to be somebody that's a little bit older, a little bit less risk adverse, that wants to pull their chips off the table while they still got chips, while they still got profits on the table, and loan it out, from their retirement account, IRA or whatever, on some real estate. And we've done that. We, bless Aunt Vicky's heart. She's not my real aunt, you know what I mean? But pretty much I call her Aunt Vicky. She got her money out of the stock market a few months ago, and she probably feels really good about that now, and cut us a loan that's interest only. That's a fabulous loan for us and a fabulous loan for her. And we love that. And so not necessarily shifting our business model, not doing anything like, drastic or anything like that, not feeling the immediate effects of, other than hearing all the negativity on the internet and on the news. They're beating you in the head with it. But also trying not necessarily capitalize on the opportunity, but provide value to people that are closest to you, to get, money out of harm's way. And then also looking at the overall landscape of what investors, I think there's a lot of big talk on the internet that they were like, oh man, bring on the recession. There was a lot of rooting on the recession because allegedly these people had money parked to the sideline, Warren Buffett style, ready to buy the dip. Maybe that happens. I don't really know. I don't think that overall home values are just going to crash overnight. So I don't think you're going to see a big immediate price drop in what you are. And during this short time in between, now and when the prices actually do drop, I think you can make some pretty big mistakes if you don't underwrite those deals as rentals and anticipate holding them a little bit longer. I think you could really put yourself in a bind if you're buying at 2019 prices in early 2020, expecting the crash to happen. So I think there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to pause, which is going to take buyers out of the market, which then should give you the leverage to be able to negotiate a deeper price cut that would still work as a rental. In this environment, I would think $1,200 a month or less rent would be a solid place to be. And then you're sitting there, in most metropolitan areas. If you're out in the country like me, you got to stay below 900. But long story short, I just kind of look at what's going on in the landscape, and I'm like, where is there an opportunity to not only get access to more capital, get access to cheaper capital, but also, whenever I'm negotiating with sellers, use the noise in the background to get something, at a little bit deeper discount, so it will work as a rental or owner finance long term, and take off my flipping and wholesaling goggles and set them to the side for a little bit. So that's it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm waving at you bitches. Wave at Tiffany Marie, LaShawn Campbell, Cameron Whitehead, Dancito. Go subscribe to my YouTube, please. I need subscribers, and watch a video or two while you're there. I'll see y'all.